My beloved child, I know the fear that rises in your heart when you think about your child, and I know the prayers you whisper when no one else is listening. I know the way your heart can suddenly grow heavy without warning, how your mind begins to search for answers, how your spirit senses that something is not right even before your eyes can fully explain what has changed. I saw the nights when sleep came to everyone else in the house, but not to you. I heard the sigh you released into the darkness. I saw you look at their face, their room, their messages, their silence, their distance, their mood, their choices, and wonder if something unseen was moving closer before you knew how to name it. But my beloved child, do not panic. Do not allow fear to become the voice that guides your parenting. Do not allow anxiety to sit on the throne of your heart and call it protection. What I am allowing you to sense is not an announcement of defeat. It is not a sentence over your son. It is not a curse over your daughter. It is not proof that your grandchild is lost or that the one you love is beyond my reach. This stirring in your spirit is an invitation. I am calling you to rise, not to tremble. I am calling you to cover, not to collapse. I am calling you to pray before fear becomes louder than faith. There are warnings I send not to torment you, but to awaken you. There are burdens I allow you to feel, not so you will drown beneath them, but so you will bring them quickly into my presence. There are moments when I touch the heart of a mother, a father, a grandmother, a guardian, a spiritual parent, and I say, watch in prayer, stand in the gap, speak life, close the door that darkness is trying to enter. Not because the enemy is greater than I am, but because I have given you authority in your house, authority in your words, authority in your prayers, and authority in the covering you place over those I have entrusted to you. Your child may be young, and you may still hear their small footsteps in the house. Your child may be grown, and you may not know where they are tonight. They may be near enough for you to touch their forehead, or far enough that all you can do is whisper their name before me. They may be obedient and tender, or they may be wandering through choices that break your heart. They may answer your calls, or they may avoid your voice. They may know how to explain what they are feeling, or they may be carrying battles inside that they do not yet have the words to describe. But hear me clearly, my beloved child. They are not outside my sight, not even for a single second. I see what you cannot see. I hear what they do not know how to explain. I know the pressure around them, the voices speaking to them, the confusion trying to pull them, the heaviness trying to settle over their mind, the friendships, the loneliness, the temptation, the hidden grief, the silent questions, the wounds they have not brought to you because they do not know how, or because shame has taught them to hide. I am not blind to the child you love. I am not late to the battle you fear. I am not standing far away while you carry this alone. So tonight, do not let your imagination build a prison around them. Let your prayer build a covering over them. Do not accuse when I am asking you to discern. Do not panic when I am asking you to intercede. Do not become suspicious of every movement, every silence, every delay, every change, as though fear can reveal what only my spirit can reveal. Bring your concern to me, and I will teach you what to watch, what to release, what to address, and what to place completely in my hands. And if you are standing in prayer for a son, a daughter, a grandchild, or someone you love like your own, let this moment become an agreement before heaven. Like this message, so it can reach another praying parent whose heart is heavy tonight. Subscribe so you can continue receiving prayers and messages that strengthen your spirit, and write this declaration in faith. Lord, cover my child tonight. Let those words not be empty. Let them rise from your heart as a prayer, as a surrender, and as a shield. My beloved child, I am not calling you into panic. I am calling you into peace with open eyes. I am not asking you to pretend there is no battle. I am teaching you how to stand in the battle without letting fear govern your spirit. The first thing I want you to understand is this: protection begins in peace, not panic. My beloved child, the first door the enemy often reaches for is not your child's weakness, but your fear. He knows that when the heart of a parent becomes unsettled, the atmosphere of the home begins to tremble. He knows that when your peace is disturbed, your words can become sharp, your eyes can become suspicious, your listening can become guarded, and your love, though still real, can begin to feel like pressure to the very child who needs covering. This is why I am speaking to your spirit tonight. Before you run to correct everything you see in them, let me first strengthen what is trembling in you. There are moments when fear dresses itself like wisdom. It tells you to watch every movement, question every silence, assume every delay means rebellion, assume every change means danger, assume every distance means they are slipping away. But my beloved child, fear does not see clearly. Fear shouts, but faith watches. Fear accuses, but faith intercedes. Fear imagines the worst, but faith brings the child before me and says, Lord, show me what is true. Fear tries to control the child's soul with human strength, but prayer covers what human hands cannot reach. Fear makes the house feel heavy, even when love is present, but peace opens a place where my spirit can move. Do not allow panic to become the language of your parenting. Do not interrogate before you pray. Do not condemn before you listen. Do not let your first response be a storm when I am calling you to become a covering. There are words that can wound a child deeper than you know. Words spoken in fear but received as rejection. Words spoken out of concern but planted like shame. Words that agree with darkness by naming the child according to the battle instead of according to my promise. Do not call them lost when I am still reaching them. Do not call them impossible when I am still forming them. Do not call them broken, as though my hand is too weak to restore. Remember what is written in Exodus, that the Lord will fight for you, and you shall hold your peace. My beloved child, this was not weakness. This was not silence born from surrender. This was faith standing still while heaven moved. When my people stood before the sea, and the enemy pressed behind them, fear had many reasons to scream, but I was teaching them that there are battles not won by panic, not won by frantic movement, not won by human striving, but by trusting my power while holding the heart steady. So it is in your house. Peace is not the absence of battle. Peace is a weapon in the middle of battle. Peace tells darkness that your home is not ruled by terror. Peace tells your child that your love is not unstable. Peace tells your own soul that I am still God. So tonight, take authority first over fear in your own heart. Speak to the atmosphere of your home and say, fear will not govern this family. Confusion will not lead my words. Panic will not sit at this table. Anxiety will not stand at the doorway and decide how I speak to the child God gave me. Let your voice become calm again. Let your prayers become steady again. Let your spirit return to the place where you can hear me without the noise of dread. I am not asking you to ignore what must be addressed. I am asking you to address it from peace, because correction spoken from fear often crushes, but correction carried by love can heal. I know you want to protect them. I know you want to stop every danger before it touches them. I know there are times when your heart beats faster because you remember your own pain, your own mistakes, your own family history, your own wounds, and you fear they may walk into the same darkness you once survived. But my beloved child, fear cannot protect them as deeply as prayer can. Control cannot cover them as faithfully as my presence can. Suspicion cannot reveal truth as clearly as my spirit can. Bring your trembling heart to me first, and I will make you steady enough to see what is real. And once your heart is anchored, I will teach you discernment without torment. I will show you the signs that need prayer without turning you into a prisoner of anxiety. I will help you notice what matters without condemning what you do not yet understand. I will give you words that open doors instead of closing hearts. But first, let peace stand guard at the entrance of your soul. For when the parent's heart is covered, the child is covered more deeply than fear could ever imagine. My beloved child, now that your heart is quieter before me, listen carefully. The quiet signs around your child are not always small. There are changes that appear ordinary to the eye but carry weight in the spirit. There are silences that are not only tiredness. There are sudden bursts of anger that are not only attitude. There are locked doors, hidden tears, restless nights, distracted eyes, secretive habits, and heavy moods that may be speaking of a battle your child does not know how to explain. Do not rush to call every change rebellion. Do not quickly name every distance disrespect. Sometimes what you are seeing is not the whole story. Sometimes the behavior is only the smoke, and the fire is deeper. I saw the moment their laughter became quieter. I saw the thought they did not tell you. I saw the door that opened through weariness. I saw the pressure that began to sit upon their mind when no one else noticed. I saw the comparison that entered through a screen. I saw the voice online that made them question who they were. I saw the friendship that seemed harmless at first, but slowly began to pull their heart in another direction. I saw the loneliness they carried even in a crowded room. I saw the bitterness that tried to grow when they felt misunderstood. I saw the hidden habit that promised comfort but began to build a chain. I saw the shame that told them to hide instead of ask for help. My beloved child, this is why I am teaching you discernment. Discernment does not mean suspicion. Discernment does not mean searching your child as though they are your enemy. Discernment is the quiet wisdom of my spirit, showing you what to pray over, what to ask gently, what to watch patiently, and what to address with love. Suspicion looks at the child and says, I know you are guilty. Discernment looks at the child and says, something is weighing on you, and I am willing to listen. Suspicion closes the heart before truth can rise. Discernment makes room for truth to come into the light without being crushed by condemnation. There are children who become withdrawn not because they hate their family, but because they are overwhelmed by what they cannot name. There are children who become angry not because they are wicked, but because fear has no other language in them yet. There are children who become secretive not because they want darkness, but because shame has convinced them that honesty will cost them love. There are children who seem distracted because their mind is carrying too many voices. There are children who seem emotionally distant because rejection has taught them to guard the tender places of their heart. And there are children who are being tempted, pressured, confused, or spiritually numbed by doors they opened in weakness, not always in rebellion. Do not condemn what you have not yet discerned. Do not strike the wound while calling it correction. Do not shame the child for showing symptoms of a battle you have not yet understood. Ask me for eyes that see beneath the surface. Ask me for ears that hear what is not being said. Ask me for timing, because not every conversation must happen in the heat of your concern. Ask me for restraint, because not every fear in your mind is a revelation from my spirit. Ask me for courage, because love sometimes must speak clearly. Ask me for tenderness, because truth without tenderness can sound like rejection to a child already afraid. There are modern doors that many parents do not recognize until the room is already cold. Voices online can disciple a child when no one in the house knows they are listening. Unhealthy friendships can shape desire before the parent sees the fruit. Pressure to fit in can make a child betray their own conscience just to avoid feeling alone. Comparison can steal gratitude. Loneliness can invite false comfort. Bitterness can become an inner conversation. Spiritual numbness can settle slowly, like dust over a lamp, until what once moved their heart feels distant. But my beloved child, do not be overwhelmed by these doors. I am greater than every doorway darkness has used. I can close what you cannot reach. I can expose what has been hidden. I can bring conviction without destroying the soul. So observe patterns, not just moments. Listen with patience, not only with concern. Pray before you confront. Watch the fruit, but do not forget the root. If their behavior is the smoke, ask me to show you the fire. Is it fear? Is it rejection? Is it grief? Is it shame? Is it temptation? Is it weariness? Is it a wound they buried because they thought no one would understand? Is it a spiritual attack pressing against their identity, their purity, their peace, their calling, their hope? I know the answer before you ask. I am not confused by what confuses you. I am not intimidated by what frightens you. Bring the child to me in prayer, and I will teach you how to respond without letting panic become your counselor. My beloved child, your child needs covering, not accusation. They need a parent whose spirit is awake but whose love is still warm. They need correction that does not erase belonging. They need questions that do not feel like a courtroom. They need boundaries that do not sound like hatred. They need truth spoken with a voice that still says, you are worth fighting for. You are not the darkness trying to pull you. You are not the mistake you made. You are not the confusion surrounding you. You are still seen by God. Remember this as you watch and pray. I have always seen children in wilderness places before their parents knew what to do. I have always heard cries that did not yet have language. I have always known where the water was before the desperate heart could see it. And soon I will remind you of a mother in the wilderness, a child under the shadow of death, and a well that was already near. Because what you cannot see yet, my beloved child, I may already have prepared. Remember Hagar in the wilderness, my beloved child. Remember the mother who had walked until her strength was almost gone, the mother whose water had run out, the mother whose heart was breaking because the child she loved was suffering in a place where she saw no answer. She did not place Ishmael beneath that bush because she stopped loving him. She placed him there because her heart could not bear the sight of his pain. She stepped away, not because she was careless, but because helplessness had pierced her so deeply that she said within herself, "I cannot watch this child die." Do you see yourself in that moment, my beloved child? Do you see the parent who has done all they knew to do, prayed the prayers they knew to pray, spoken the words they knew to speak, and yet still feels as though the water is running out? There are moments when a parent feels this kind of wilderness, not always with sand beneath their feet, but with exhaustion in the soul. There are moments when you look at your child and you do not know what to say anymore. You do not know how to reach what is hidden. You do not know how to heal what is hurting. You do not know how to stop the pressure around them, or the confusion within them, or the choices that seem to pull them farther than your hands can reach. But my beloved child, listen carefully. The well was already near Hagar before her eyes were opened to see it. Provision was already in the wilderness before hope returned to her heart. Water had not suddenly become real only when she noticed it. I had already prepared what fear told her was absent. Grief had covered her eyes, but grief did not remove my provision. Tears had blurred her vision, but tears did not cancel my promise. Weariness had convinced her there was no way forward, but weariness did not make me powerless. This is what I want you to understand tonight. You may feel that you have no answer for your child, but I am not without answers. You may feel that you have reached the edge of your wisdom, but I have counsel prepared beyond your understanding. You may feel that the situation is drying up, that their heart is closing, that their future is threatened, that the distance is becoming too wide, that the battle is becoming too hidden. But I may already have provision closer than you can see. I may already have protection surrounding them in ways you have not recognized. I may already be preparing the conversation, the correction, the open door, the right person, the moment of conviction, the place of rescue, the quiet turning of their heart. My beloved child, I heard your child before they knew how to explain their pain to you. I heard the cry beneath their silence. I heard the ache beneath their anger. I heard the confusion beneath their distance. I heard the prayer they did not know how to form. I heard the tears they swallowed because they were afraid to be seen. I heard the questions they carried when they thought no one understood them. And just as I heard the voice of the boy in the wilderness, I hear the voice of the child you are carrying before me now. As written in Genesis, I heard the voice of the lad, and I called to Hagar from heaven, my beloved child. Notice this with tenderness. I did not begin by condemning Hagar for crying. I did not shame her because her strength had failed. I did not rebuke her because she felt afraid. I met her in the wilderness. I called her by name. I asked what troubled her, not because I did not know, but because I was drawing her broken heart into my presence. Then I opened her eyes, and she saw the well of water. I lifted her child's future before her again. I protected the promise that looked endangered. I gave her enough for the next step, and I remained faithful to what I had spoken. So do not curse yourself because you have felt tired. Do not condemn yourself because there were moments when fear rose in you before faith did. Do not say you are a failed parent because you have cried in secret, because you have felt helpless, because you have needed me to open your eyes again. Even a weary parent can be met by me in the wilderness. Even a trembling mother can hear my voice. Even a father who does not know how to speak can be strengthened by my spirit. Even a guardian who feels unprepared can be given wisdom from heaven. Your weakness is not the end of your covering. Bring it to me, and I will breathe strength into the place where you thought you had nothing left. There are wells you cannot see while fear is speaking loudly. There are answers you cannot recognize while grief is sitting over your eyes. There are mercies nearby that sorrow has made difficult to notice. But I am able to open your eyes. I am able to show you what to do next. I am able to reveal the help that is already close. I am able to guide you to the right word at the right time, the right boundary, with the right spirit, the right prayer in the right moment, the right help before the night grows darker. Do not assume there is no water because your soul feels dry. Do not assume there is no hope because your eyes are tired. Do not assume I am absent because the wilderness feels quiet. My beloved child, the promise over your child is not sustained by your perfect strength. It is sustained by my faithfulness. You are called to pray, to cover, to listen, to correct, to love, to stand, but you are not called to be their savior. I am the one who sees them beneath the bush. I am the one who hears them in the desert. I am the one who knows how to preserve what fear says is dying. I am the one who can call life back into places that look empty. I am the one who can bring water into the dry ground. So lift your eyes again. Ask me to show you the well. Ask me to show you the help that is near. Ask me to show you the provision you have been too burdened to notice. Ask me to show you how to comfort without smothering, how to correct without crushing, how to stand without striving, how to hope without denying the battle. I will not mock your tears. I will not despise your concern. I will meet you there, and I will teach you how to rise. And if I heard Ishmael in the desert, my beloved child, I also hear the child sitting alone in a bedroom. I hear the child sitting quietly in a classroom. I hear the child sitting in a car with thoughts they do not speak. I hear the child walking into a workplace carrying pressure no one sees. I hear the child smiling in public while fighting a secret battle in the soul. Their battle may be hidden from you, but it is not hidden from me. My beloved child, their battle may be hidden from you, but it is not hidden from me. I saw the conversation you did not hear. I saw the message that entered their eyes and stayed in their mind longer than it should have. I saw the comparison that made them feel smaller. I saw the rejection that taught them to close a door inside themselves. I saw the temptation that came softly, not always like a storm, but like a whisper, offering comfort in a place of weakness. I saw the bitterness that began as pain, the confusion that began as questions, the shame that began as one secret, and the loneliness that began when they believed no one would understand. Do not think, my beloved child, that because your child does not speak everything, nothing is happening. There are battles children carry behind ordinary faces. There are wars fought beneath laughter. There are tears swallowed before they reach the pillow. There are fears hidden behind anger, wounds hidden behind silence, and cries for help hidden inside behavior that looks like rebellion. I saw the moment they wanted to tell you something and then pulled the words back. I saw the moment they felt judged before they were heard. I saw the moment an influence entered quietly, through a friendship, through a screen, through a voice that sounded accepting but carried poison beneath its kindness. I saw the wound that turned into distance. I saw the question that turned into defiance. I saw the heaviness that turned into numbness. But hear me clearly, my beloved child. Your child is not the enemy. Do not turn your fear into accusation and aim it at the one I am trying to rescue. Do not look at the child under pressure and treat them as though they are the darkness pressing against them. The battle is not against flesh and blood, as written in Ephesians. There are rulers of darkness. There are spiritual forces. There are unseen pressures that try to plant lies in tender places. The enemy wants to confuse identity, corrupt desire, harden the heart, isolate the soul, and make the child believe that secrecy is safer than truth. But your child is still my creation. Your child is still within my sight. Your child is still worth covering, worth correcting, worth loving, worth praying over, worth fighting for, with clean hands and a steady spirit. This is why your weapons must be spiritual, not merely emotional. Panic cannot pull down strongholds. Harshness cannot heal shame. Suspicion cannot bring light into hidden rooms of the heart. But prayer can enter where your voice cannot go. Truth can uproot lies. Righteousness can guard the atmosphere. Faith can stand when circumstances look unstable. Peace can silence the storm inside your own soul. My word can become a lamp over their mind when confusion tries to cover them. Do not fight a spiritual battle with only human anger. Put on what I have given you. Stand in truth. Walk in righteousness. Lift the shield of faith. Let peace cover your feet. Speak my word over the child, not as a weapon against them, but as a covering around them. Bless their room, my beloved child. Do not do it with fear, as though darkness is greater than my presence. Do it with authority and peace. Pray over the bed where they sleep. Pray over their dreams, their thoughts, their rest, their breathing, their mind in the night hours, when their defenses are tired. Speak life quietly where they have cried privately. Speak scripture over the atmosphere where heaviness has tried to settle. Say, the Lord is my light and my salvation. Say, no weapon formed against this child shall prosper. Say, the peace of God will guard this mind and heart. Say, this room will not be a hiding place for shame, but a place where the mercy of God can reach what is wounded. Watch the company they keep, but do it with wisdom. Pay attention to the voices that shape them. the patterns that follow certain friendships, the doors that open after certain influences, the fruit that appears after certain habits. But do not make your home feel like a courtroom where every confession becomes a punishment before it becomes a conversation. Create a place where truth can be spoken safely. A child who fears only wrath may learn to hide more carefully, but a child who knows love is steady may find courage to come into the light. This does not mean you remove boundaries. This does not mean you call danger harmless. This does not mean you let rebellion rule the house. It means your firmness must carry prayer, and your correction must carry tenderness, and your authority must carry my heart. There is a harshness that pushes a child deeper into secrecy. There is a sharp word that closes a door for a long season. There is a look of disgust that shame remembers. There is a reaction born from fear that makes the child believe there is no bridge back. But there is also a prayerful firmness that says, I will not agree with darkness, but I will not abandon you in the battle. There is a holy tenderness that says, I see something is wrong, and I am not here to destroy you. There is a steady authority that says, this house will serve the Lord, and because this house serves the Lord, truth can come into the open without fear becoming the ruler of the room. My beloved child, ask me to teach you the difference between enabling and covering, between control and guidance, between silence and patience, between anger and holy resolve. Ask me when to speak and when to wait. Ask me when to confront and when to listen. Ask me when to remove an influence and when to build trust through conversation. Ask me how to protect without crushing, how to correct without humiliating, how to love without fear, how to stand without becoming hard. I will give wisdom to the parent who asks. I will give courage to the one who trembles. I will give discernment to the one who refuses to let panic lead. And now, my beloved child, you must begin to rebuild what has become vulnerable, not with noise, not with fear, not with blame, but with steady obedience. Remember Nehemiah, who saw broken walls and did not only weep over them, but rose to rebuild them. A city with broken walls was exposed to every enemy that passed by, and a family without prayer, peace, truth, consistency, and covering becomes weary in the same way. So I am calling you now to rebuild the walls around your house before the cracks grow wider. I am calling you to restore the gates of prayer, the stones of peace, the watchtower of discernment, and the covering of words that give life. Because what I am showing you is not meant to make you afraid. It is meant to make you rise. My beloved child, broken walls do not mean the city is worthless. Broken walls mean the city must be guarded again. Broken walls mean someone must rise with prayer in one hand and obedience in the other. Broken walls mean the enemy has found places of weakness, but they do not mean the city has been abandoned by me. Remember Nehemiah. When he heard that the walls of Jerusalem were broken down and the gates were burned with fire, he did not say the city was finished. He wept, he prayed, he fasted, and then he rose to rebuild. The ruins did not cancel the covenant. The ashes did not remove my name from the city. The broken stones were not proof that I had stopped caring. They were a call to restoration. So hear me, my beloved child. When I show you cracks in your home, I am not showing them to you so shame can swallow you. I am showing them to you so rebuilding can begin. When I reveal neglected prayer, unresolved conflict, harsh words, constant arguments, emotional distance, hidden bitterness, digital exposure, weariness, spiritual laziness, and places where peace has slowly drained out of the house, I am not standing over you as an accuser. I am standing beside you as the builder. I do not expose a crack because I delight in your guilt. I expose a crack because I love what the enemy has been trying to enter. I love the child. I love the family. I love the house. I love the generations that will come after you. Do not say it is too late. Do not say the wall is too broken. Do not say the child has gone too far. Do not say your house has been too damaged by the past. Do not say your prayers are too weak to matter now. I am still able to rebuild. I am still able to restore. I am still able to take what has been neglected and strengthen it again. I am still able to bring peace into rooms that have known tension for years. I am still able to soften hearts that have become guarded. I am still able to teach a family how to speak again, how to pray again, how to forgive again, how to sit together without fear ruling the atmosphere. There are homes where everyone lives under the same roof, but the walls of the heart have fallen. There are tables where food is served, but peace is absent. There are bedrooms filled with devices, but empty of rest. There are conversations that have become only correction, only irritation, only instruction, only complaint, and the child begins to hear the house as a place of pressure instead of covering. There are old offenses no one speaks about, but everyone feels. There are wounds from yesterday still shaping the tone of today. There are parents who love deeply but are tired, and children who need love but do not know how to receive it. I see all of this. Not one hidden crack is hidden from me. But ruins are not the end when the builder is present. A wall is rebuilt one stone at a time. A home is covered one prayer at a time. A child is strengthened one word of life at a time. Do not despise simple obedience because it does not look dramatic. Pray at the doorways of your house. Bless your child before they leave, even if they seem embarrassed, even if they walk away quickly, even if they do not yet understand the covering being placed over them. Speak peace over their mind when they go to school, when they go to work, when they enter places where you cannot follow them. Say, Lord, guard their eyes, guard their ears, guard their friendships, guard their thoughts, guard their steps. Let no voice louder than yours shape their identity. Speak life at bedtime, my beloved child. Do not let the final sound over your child be anger if you can bring peace. There will be moments when correction is needed, but do not let correction become the only language they hear. Let there be blessing in the house again. Let there be gentle words again. Let there be small moments where your child feels the warmth of belonging. Pray quietly over their sleep. Ask me to meet them in dreams, to quiet fear, to expose hidden chains, to uncover harmful influences, to remove voices that are shaping them away from truth. Ask me to close doors you cannot see. Ask me to bring into the light what love must address. Ask me to give you patience when the answer unfolds slowly. And rebuild consistency, my beloved child. A wall does not stand because one stone was lifted in emotion and then forgotten. A wall stands because stone is placed upon stone, prayer upon prayer, peace upon peace, truth upon truth. Let your home have rhythms that darkness cannot easily disturb. Let forgiveness be practiced before bitterness becomes furniture in the room. Let arguments be brought under my spirit before they become the family's normal sound. Let screens and voices and influences be watched with wisdom, not panic. Let the atmosphere be guarded, not with terror, but with holy attentiveness. I will teach you how to set boundaries that protect without making the house feel like a prison. I will teach you how to create peace without pretending that danger does not exist. My beloved child, your prayer can interrupt patterns that began before your child was born. Your prayer can stand in the path of addiction that tried to travel through the bloodline. Your prayer can rise against anger that passed from parent to child, fear that passed through generations, abandonment that taught hearts to run, rebellion that hardened families, spiritual blindness that made people live without discerning the enemy at the gate. Do not underestimate what happens when one parent kneels and says, "This pattern will not have my child without a fight. This house belongs to the Lord. This bloodline will not be ruled by the same bondage forever. Mercy will speak louder here. Truth will stand here. The Spirit of God will dwell here." So rise, not in panic, but in covering. Rise, not in shame, but in obedience. Rise, not because you are strong in yourself, but because I am strong in you. Rebuild the walls around your house before the cracks grow wider. Restore prayer where silence has settled. Restore peace where arguments have multiplied. Restore tenderness where fear has made you sharp. Restore watchfulness where weariness has made you careless. Restore blessing where criticism has become too common. And as you rebuild, remember this also, my beloved child. The stones of the wall are not only prayers and boundaries, they are also words. The words spoken over your child can strengthen what I am building, or they can open another crack. So guard your mouth as you guard your house, because what you call the child in fear may fight against what I am still redeeming with my hand. Do not curse with your mouth what I am still redeeming with my hand, my beloved child. Do not let one hard season become the name you place upon your child. Do not call them by the attitude they showed when pain was speaking louder than wisdom. Do not call them by the mistake they made when weakness overtook them. Do not call them by the rebellion that frightened you, the silence that wounded you, the confusion that grieved you, or the distance that made your heart tremble in the night. I see more than the moment that alarmed you. I see more than the behavior that made you afraid. I see more than the door they slammed, the words they said, the secret they hid, the path they have been tempted to follow. The enemy wants your fear to become prophecy in your own mouth. He wants you to say, "They will never change." He wants you to say, "They are lost." He wants you to say, "They are just like the past." He wants you to say, "There is no hope." He wants the pain of what you see now to make you speak against what I am still forming beneath the surface. But my beloved child, do not agree with darkness just because darkness is loud. Do not give your voice to despair because the evidence before your eyes feels heavy. Your words are not small in the atmosphere of your home. Words can bruise, words can bless, words can open wounds wider, and words can pour oil where shame has been burning. I do not call your child by their confusion. I call them by what I placed inside them before you ever held them. I saw them before you heard their first cry. I knew the gifts hidden in them before their hands were strong enough to reach for yours. I knew the tenderness the enemy would try to harden, the purpose he would try to distort, the sensitivity he would try to turn into anxiety, the leadership he would try to twist into pride, the hunger for love he would try to lead toward the wrong voices. I know what I put there. I know what I am redeeming. I know the name heaven speaks over them when earth only sees the struggle. Remember Gideon, my beloved child. He was hiding when I called him mighty. He was threshing wheat in fear when heaven named the strength he could not yet see in himself. I did not wait until he looked courageous before I spoke courage over him. I did not wait until his hands stopped trembling before I called him a mighty man of valor. Heaven can name strength before the person acts strong. Heaven can speak destiny while fear is still present. Heaven can call forth what is buried beneath insecurity, weakness, and confusion. So do not let your mouth become an agreement with the hiding place. Let your mouth agree with what I am calling out. This does not mean you ignore discipline. This does not mean you pretend sin is harmless, or rebellion is wisdom, or danger is nothing. Love that refuses correction is not covering. It is neglect. But correction must be wrapped in hope. Discipline must carry wisdom. Boundaries must carry love. When you correct your child, do not strip them of identity. Say what is wrong, but do not curse who they are. Address the behavior, but do not bury the promise. Speak truth firmly, but let your spirit remain clean. Let them hear, this is not right, but you are not beyond redemption. This road is dangerous, but you are not abandoned. This choice has consequences, but your future is not owned by this mistake. Begin to replace fearful labels with declarations of faith. Say, my child will hear God. Say, my child will be protected. Say, my child will return to truth. Say, my child will not belong to darkness. Say, the voice of the Lord will be stronger than the voice of confusion. Say, what the enemy meant to twist, God will redeem. Say, this child is not the property of fear, addiction, rebellion, shame, or despair. This child belongs under the mercy of God. Even if your voice shakes when you say it from faith and not from denial. Let your words become stones in the wall I am rebuilding. My beloved child, guard your mouth in the hallway, in the kitchen, in the car, in the quiet place where you speak about your child when they are not listening. I hear those words too. Speak as one who believes I am still working. Speak as one who knows that a seed under soil is not dead because it is hidden. Speak as one who understands that a child in a hard season is not beyond my reach. And after you learn to guard your words, you must also learn how to pray when your child is far from you. When their heart seems resistant, when their feet walk where your hands cannot follow, because distance may test your peace, but it does not cancel my reach. My beloved child, when your child is far from you, they are still near to my reach. When their feet go where your hands cannot follow, when their heart seems closed to your counsel, when your voice no longer has the same place it once had, do not believe that distance has become stronger than my mercy. Do not believe that a locked door can keep me from speaking. Do not believe that a road you cannot walk can become a road I cannot enter. I am not limited by the miles between you. I am not stopped by the silence between you. I am not weakened by the years that have passed, the choices that have grieved you, or the walls that now stand where there used to be tenderness. I know there are parents listening whose children are grown now, and you cannot lift them into your arms the way you once did. You cannot choose their friends. You cannot stand beside every decision. You cannot remove every influence, answer every message, check every place, or soften every consequence before it touches them. There are parents whose children live in another city, another house, another state of mind, another belief, another relationship, another pattern. And your heart feels as though it is always standing at the window, watching a road that remains empty. There are parents whose children no longer receive correction easily. There are parents who have been blocked, ignored, misunderstood, or treated like an enemy when all they wanted was to protect. I saw the phone in your hand. I saw the message you typed and erased. I saw the tears that came when you did not know whether to reach again or stay quiet. But remember the father of the prodigal son, my beloved child. His son went into the far country, and the father could not control the far country. He could not follow him into every wasteful night. He could not stand beside him in every reckless choice. He could not force wisdom into a heart that wanted distance. But the father did not let the far country turn his heart into bitterness. He did not close the door of return. He did not rehearse hatred until love became cold. He remained a place of mercy. He remained a home to come back to. He remained a witness that love could grieve without becoming cruel, and hope could wait without surrendering to despair. Do you see this, my beloved child? I am not asking you to control what only I can reach. I am asking you to stand where I have placed you with a clean heart, a watchful spirit, and a love that does not become panic. Do not chase in fear until your words lose wisdom. Do not pursue so anxiously that your child only hears pressure and not love. But do not withdraw in bitterness either. Do not say, "Let them suffer," as though pain is your revenge. Do not lock the gate of your heart because they wandered beyond your comfort. Stand as a loving gate of return. Stand as a spiritual watchman. Keep the lamp lit, not so they can mock your hope, but so that when awakening comes, there is still light pointing home. Prayer is not passive, my beloved child. Prayer is not you doing nothing while darkness does whatever it wants. Prayer is your spirit standing before me when your body cannot stand beside them. Prayer enters places your footsteps cannot enter. Prayer goes into the night when you are not invited into the room. Prayer rises over conversations you never heard. Prayer surrounds the car, the apartment, the dorm, the workplace, the friendship, the relationship, the lonely hour, the hidden temptation, the memory they cannot escape, the wound they have not named. You may not reach their conscience, but I can. You may not enter their dreams, but I can. You may not touch the secret place where they still ache, but I can. My beloved child, your tears have reached places your footsteps could not reach. Do not underestimate what happens when a parent prays without being seen. There are prayers that become whispers in a child's memory years later. There are scriptures spoken over a crib that rise again in a far country. There are blessings given at bedtime that return like a song when the soul is tired of eating what never satisfied. There are moments when I bring your voice back to them, not to condemn them, but to call them. I can use a memory of your embrace. I can use a phrase you spoke in faith. I can use the sound of worship they once heard in the house. I can use the ache of emptiness to turn their eyes toward home. The far country is not beyond my visitation. And yes, my beloved child, I know regret has visited you. I know you have asked whether you were too harsh, too absent, too afraid, too permissive, too wounded, too distracted, too silent, or too quick to speak. I know you have replayed conversations and wished you could gather the words back into your mouth before they reached your child's heart. I know there are memories that accuse you at night, but do not let regret become another chain. Bring it to me. If you made mistakes, humble yourself. If you need to ask forgiveness, I will teach you how to do it without demanding an immediate response. If your words damaged something, I can heal what words damaged. If distance stole years, I can restore what distance stole. If fear taught you to love with control, I can teach you a new way to love with truth, patience, and peace. Do not make an idol of the perfect past you wish you had given them. I am able to enter imperfect homes, wounded histories, complicated stories, and broken conversations. I am able to redeem what was mishandled. I am able to soften what hardened through misunderstanding. I am able to rebuild trust slowly, like stones placed back into a wall. Your humility can become a key. Your gentleness can become a bridge. Your consistency can become a witness. Your prayer can become the covering beneath the surface while visible change is still small. So today, my beloved child, release the illusion that fear can follow them better than I can. Release the need to know every detail before you trust me. Bless them without enabling darkness. Love them without surrendering wisdom. Keep boundaries where boundaries are needed, but keep your heart free from revenge. Let your home, your voice, and your presence remain a place where repentance would not be met by humiliation, but by truth wrapped in mercy. Let them know there is still a road back, not to denial, not to pretending nothing happened, but to healing, restoration, and the grace that can make broken things whole. And as you stand for the child who is far from you, understand that I am not only protecting them from dangers outside the house, I am also preparing to heal what has traveled inside the family line itself. Some distance did not begin with them. Some fear did not begin with you. Some patterns have been moving through generations, looking for another child to carry them. But I am able to break what followed your bloodline, and I am able to release a new covering over those who come after you. My beloved child, I am breaking the pattern that tried to follow your bloodline. I am reaching into places your eyes could not fully understand, into stories that began before your child was born, before you became a parent, before you knew how deeply a family can carry both blessing and pain. Some battles did not begin with this child. Some reactions did not begin in this room. Some fears, some wounds, some silences, some ways of running, some ways of hiding, some ways of exploding. Some ways of shutting down have moved through families for years, looking for another heart to inhabit, another voice to use, another generation to wound. But hear me clearly, my beloved child. What wounded you does not have to rule them. What trapped those before you does not have to own those after you. Do not hear this with condemnation. I am not calling you to despise your family. I am not calling you to speak with pride against those who came before you. Many of them were wounded too. Many of them only repeated what they had never been healed from. Many of them carried burdens they did not know how to name. There was anger that was passed down because no one learned how to grieve. There was addiction that entered because pain kept searching for an escape. There was abandonment that taught hearts not to trust love when it came close. There was fear that made parents control what they should have covered. There was confusion that entered through open doors no one discerned. There was rejection that made children grow into adults who did not know how to receive tenderness. There was poverty of love, where there may have been food on the table, but affection was rare, blessing was rare, listening was rare, safety was rare. I saw the spiritual coldness that settled over some homes like winter. I saw broken trust become normal. I saw repeated relational wounds, the same arguments wearing different faces, the same betrayals appearing in new seasons, the same bitterness moving from one generation to another, as though it had a right to remain. But my beloved child, a pattern is not a covenant unless you agree with it. A wound is not a prophecy unless you give it your mouth. A family history is not stronger than my blood. I am able to enter the bloodline with mercy. I am able to put a holy interruption where darkness expected continuation. I am able to use one praying parent as a gate through which old bondage cannot pass freely anymore. Remember Joseph, my beloved child. He was wounded by his own family. He was rejected by brothers who should have protected him. He was sold, carried away, accused, forgotten, and placed in seasons that looked like the enemy had won. Yet, I was with Joseph in the pit. I was with Joseph in the prison. I was with Joseph in the hidden years when no one could see the preservation I was preparing through his pain. And when the appointed time came, the very life that had been wounded became a life that preserved many. What others meant for evil, I turned toward saving life. What was designed to destroy him became part of the road through which many were fed. Do you see this, my beloved child? One healed life can become protection for many. One surrendered heart can become bread for a family. One person who refuses to repay evil with evil can become a doorway of mercy. This is what I am teaching you now. Do not only pray for your child as though their struggle is isolated. Pray over the stream from which they have been drinking. Pray over the roots, not only the fruit. Pray over the memories that shaped you. Pray over the reactions that rise in you before you even understand them. Pray over the words you heard as a child that still try to come out of your mouth as a parent. Pray over the silence you inherited. Pray over the anger you learned. Pray over the fear you thought was normal. Bring it all to me. Repent where you need to repent. Forgive where forgiveness is possible. Release what you have been carrying as though loyalty to pain could protect anyone. Renounce the patterns that have not carried my spirit. Say with a humble heart, this anger will not be my child's inheritance. This addiction will not claim another generation. This abandonment will not define our house. This fear will not raise my child. This confusion will not be the voice over our family. This rejection will not sit at our table. This coldness will not become our language. This broken trust will not be the only story our children know. Say it not with arrogance, but with faith. Say it not as one who is strong in the flesh, but as one who stands under my mercy. Let your home become a spiritual threshold where the old way meets the authority of prayer and cannot pass without being confronted by my name. My beloved child, your prayer can stand at the doorway and say, "This pattern stops here, and my child will walk under the mercy of God." Your blessing can speak a different inheritance. Bless your child with peace, where there has been torment. Bless them with sobriety of mind, where confusion has ruled. Bless them with tenderness, where harshness has lived. Bless them with covenant love, where abandonment has repeated itself. Bless them with wisdom, where foolish cycles have brought destruction. Bless them with truth, where lies have shaped identity. Bless them with courage to receive love, courage to repent, courage to heal, courage to become free. And understand this also, generational deliverance is not only a moment of prayer with tears on your face. It becomes a new way of living in the house. It becomes the way you answer when provoked. It becomes the way you apologize when you are wrong. It becomes the way you listen instead of assuming. It becomes the boundary you set, the door you close, the influence you remove, the peace you protect, the pattern you refuse to rehearse. I will break what must be broken, but I will also teach you how to walk differently after the chain falls. Prayer opens the door to freedom, and wisdom teaches the family how to live inside that freedom. So rise, my beloved child, not as one cursed by history, but as one covered by mercy. Let the past be brought into my light. Let the wounds be brought into my hands. Let the child be blessed with what you were not given. Let the house become a place where old patterns lose their authority, and new mercy begins to speak. And as I heal the bloodline, I will also teach you daily wisdom, because the prayer that covers your child must become patience, discernment, boundaries, listening, and real care inside the rooms where your family lives. My beloved child, prayer must become wisdom you can live in the house. Do not let your prayer rise in the secret place, and then let your reactions tear down what your prayer began to build. Do not ask me to cover your child while you refuse the patience, the listening, the boundaries, the humility, and the courage through which that covering often becomes visible. I can work through prayer, and I can work through wisdom. I can move through a scripture, and I can move through a conversation. I can warn you in the night, and I can guide you in the morning through a gentle question, a careful observation, a timely appointment, a closed door, or a loving boundary that your child may not understand at first. My beloved child, when you pray, do not become more frantic. Let prayer make you wiser. Let prayer make you calmer. Let prayer make you more attentive to what you once ignored and more courageous about what you once avoided. There are parents who pray loudly but listen poorly. There are parents who rebuke darkness but never ask their child what has been hurting. There are parents who sense danger but are afraid to set a boundary because they do not want conflict. There are parents who see sadness growing in a child's eyes and dismiss it as attitude, laziness, rebellion, or moodiness, when there is something deeper asking to be noticed. Do not judge before you listen. Do not assume before you ask. Do not correct every expression of pain as though every tear is disrespect and every silence is rebellion. Ask gentle questions, my beloved child. Ask, how is your heart? Ask, who has been speaking into your life? Ask, what has been making you feel heavy lately? Ask, is there anything you are afraid to tell me? Ask, have I made it hard for you to be honest with me? Do not ask only as an investigator searching for guilt. Ask as a shepherd watching over a soul. Let your face become safe enough for truth. Let your tone become steady enough that your child does not feel they must hide everything to survive your reaction. I am not calling you to be naive. I am calling you to be discerning without becoming harsh, watchful without becoming suspicious of every breath, firm without becoming cruel. Watch the sudden changes, my beloved child. Watch when joy disappears for too long. Watch when sleep changes, appetite changes, friendships change, grades change, language changes, secrecy grows, anger rises quickly, isolation deepens, or shame begins to cover their face like a heavy veil. Watch what they watch. Know the voices that are shaping them. Know the friendships that are feeding their spirit. Know the rooms they enter through screens when the house becomes quiet. Know the music, the messages, the habits, the hidden doors that may be training their heart while you think they are only passing time. But do not watch in panic. Watch in love. Watch as one who understands that a small crack in a wall is easier to repair before the storm presses through it. Set boundaries where boundaries are needed. A boundary is not hatred. A boundary is not rejection. A boundary is not proof that your love has failed. Sometimes love must say no. Sometimes love must remove access. Sometimes love must end a conversation until respect returns. Sometimes love must protect rest. Protect the atmosphere of the home. Protect younger children. Protect the body. Protect the mind. Protect the future. Do not confuse peace with permissiveness. Peace is not the absence of correction. Peace is the presence of my spirit, even when correction must be spoken. As written, a wise person seeks danger and takes refuge, but the simple continue and suffer for it. Let wisdom take refuge before the danger becomes louder. And hear me clearly, my beloved child. Spiritual covering never means ignoring real danger. Prayer does not excuse neglect. Faith does not require you to pretend that mental anguish, abuse, addiction, self-harm, violence, exploitation, or urgent danger is only a spiritual feeling to be whispered about behind closed doors. If your child is in danger, act. If your child needs help, seek help. If something is beyond your wisdom, do not let pride call isolation faith. I can place provision through a pastor, a counselor, a trusted mentor, a doctor, a teacher, a safe family member, or someone trained to help carry what your family cannot carry alone. Remember Hagar again. I opened her eyes to a well that was already near. Sometimes the well is a person I send. Sometimes the well is a conversation you were afraid to start. Sometimes the well is counsel, treatment, intervention, protection, or truth brought into the light before darkness grows stronger in secrecy. Do not use this message to control your child through fear. Do not say, God warned me, and then use those words like a chain around their neck. Do not turn spiritual concern into domination. Do not make your child feel that every question, every boundary, every prayer is a weapon against them. I am not calling you to control their soul. I am calling you to cover, guide, protect, correct, and love with clean hands. The goal is not domination. The goal is restoration. The goal is truth. The goal is safety. The goal is a home where darkness is confronted, but the child is not crushed beneath the weight of your fear. My beloved child, let your house learn the rhythm of prayer and wisdom together. Pray, then listen. Listen, then act. Act, then remain humble. Correct, then comfort. Set boundaries, then keep the door of communication open. Protect rest. Protect meals when you can sit together without every word becoming a battle. Protect moments where your child can speak without being immediately interrupted. Protect your own spirit too, because an exhausted parent often reacts from wounds instead of wisdom. Let my peace govern your tone. Let my truth govern your decisions. Let my mercy govern your correction. So now, after wisdom has been placed in your hands, come back to prayer, because tonight is not a night for panic. Tonight is a night for covering. Tonight, before sleep settles over the house, before the lights go quiet, before your child enters, dreams you cannot enter and thoughts you cannot monitor, bring them before me. Bring their name. Bring their room. Bring their mind. Bring their friendships. Bring their hidden tears. Bring your fear also. I will teach you how to pray over your child tonight, not as one defeated by what you cannot control, but as one standing under my authority, placing the child beneath my covering, and placing fear beneath my feet. My beloved child, come now into this prayer slowly. Do not rush through it as though you are trying to finish a duty. Let your breathing become quiet. Let your hands unclench. If your child is near, you may stand outside the room, sit beside the bed, place your hand gently where love is welcomed, or whisper their name before me. If your child is far, hold their photo, write their name, speak their name into the night, and know that distance does not weaken prayer. If your child is grown, if they are sleeping in another house, if they are awake somewhere you cannot see, if they are wandering through thoughts you cannot enter, bring them before me now. Say with a surrendered heart, Father, I place my child back into your hands. They were yours before they were mine. I release the illusion that I can control what only you can cover. I release the fear that has tried to sit on my chest and speak louder than faith. I give you their life, their mind, their heart, their future, their hidden battles, their visible choices, their wounds, their questions, and every place in them that I do not understand. I confess that I am not their savior. You are. I am not the keeper of every breath. You are. I am not able to watch every hour. You are. So tonight I bring my child under the shadow of your wings, and I place my fear beneath your authority. My beloved child, pray over their mind. Say, Lord, cover the thoughts of my child. Guard the places where confusion has tried to enter. Silence the lies that have repeated themselves in secret. Break the agreement with shame, with worthlessness, with despair, with rebellion, with bitterness, with fear. Let their mind be renewed by truth. Let every thought that is not from you lose its grip. Let light enter the rooms of their understanding. Let wisdom rise where pressure has been loud. Let clarity come where there has been fog. Let peace stand guard where anxiety has been pacing through the night. Pray over their dreams, my beloved child. Say, Lord, cover my child while sleep covers this house. Let no torment enter their rest. Let no fear shape their dreams. Let no memory come to wound them again without your healing presence there. Speak even while they sleep. Comfort what they cannot explain. Minister to places too deep for words. Let their sleep become a place of restoration, not attack. Let their body rest, their nervous system settle, their heart become quiet, and their spirit be held by you. As written, you give your beloved sleep. So give my child sleep that is guarded, peaceful, and clean. Pray over their body, their friendships, their decisions, and their path. Say, Lord, protect my child from harm, seen and unseen. Keep them from the wrong place at the wrong time. Keep them from hands that intend evil, from voices that disguise danger as affection, from invitations that open doors to bondage, from habits that begin small but grow into chains. Cover their body with your protection. Cover their steps with your mercy. Cover their decisions with holy interruption. When they are tempted to move toward destruction, disturb what needs to be disturbed. Close doors that must be closed. Delay what must be delayed. Remove access where access would harm them. Give them friends who sharpen wisdom, not companions who pull them away from truth. And pray over the online spaces. My beloved child, say, Lord, enter the hidden rooms of screens, messages, images, conversations, influences, and secret doors. Expose what must be exposed, not to crush my child with shame, but to rescue them with truth. Reveal danger before it grows stronger. Bring into the light what darkness wanted to keep hidden. Remove voices that are feeding confusion, lust, violence, hopelessness, deception, or rebellion. Let conviction come without condemnation. Let truth come without humiliation. Let my child be delivered from anything that has been training their heart away from you. Pray over their emotions and identity. Say, Lord, heal my child where words have wounded them. Heal them where rejection made them feel unwanted. Heal them where family pain taught them to hide. Heal them where fear made them guarded. Heal them where failure made them believe they are finished. Heal them where loneliness made them accept what was beneath their worth. Speak their true name again. Let them know they are not the worst thing they have done, not the lie spoken over them, not the wound they carry, not the pattern that tried to claim them. They are seen by you. They are loved by you. They are called by you. They belong first to you. Now stand against the pattern, my beloved child. Say, Lord, I ask for generational mercy over my child. They will not inherit chains as their portion. They will not be owned by addiction, rage, abandonment, confusion, coldness, fear, impurity, despair, or unbelief. Let them inherit mercy. Let them inherit wisdom. Let them inherit courage. Let them inherit purity of heart. Let them inherit peace. Let them inherit faith. Let the bloodline be covered by the blood of Jesus. Let old doors be shut. Let new grace speak louder than old pain. Let my child walk in freedom where others were bound. Then pray for yourself, because your heart must also be covered. Say, Lord, make me calm, make me discerning, make me loving without being weak, firm without being cruel, patient without being passive, watchful without being suspicious. and humble enough to hear your correction. Teach me when to speak and when to be silent. Teach me when to ask, when to wait, when to act, and when to rest. Make me quick to hear the Holy Spirit. Guard my mouth from fear. Guard my reactions from old wounds. Let my presence become steady. Let my home become covered. Let my love become clean. And now let the prayer rise into declaration, my beloved child. Say it with faith, even if your voice trembles. No weapon formed against my child shall prosper. The Lord is their keeper. The enemy will not have the final word. My child is not abandoned to darkness. My child is not beyond the reach of mercy. My child is covered by the God who sees in secret, heals in hidden places, warns before destruction, and restores what fear said was lost. The Lord will preserve their going out and their coming in. The Lord will surround them like a shield. The Lord will guide them with truth, correct them with love, and draw them with mercy. So tonight, after you have prayed, do not pick fear back up as though prayer was only a pause in your panic. Leave your child in my hands. Leave their room in my hands. Leave their future in my hands. Leave the unanswered questions in my hands. You have placed your child under my covering, and you have placed your fear under my authority. Now rest, my beloved child. I will watch what you cannot watch. My beloved child, rest now. I do not sleep. I do not grow weary, and I do not lose sight of the child you love. When your eyes become heavy, mine remain open. When your strength reaches its limit, my strength is not reduced. When the house grows quiet, and you can no longer hear what is happening in the rooms, in the thoughts, in the dreams, in the places beyond your reach, I am still present. I am still watching. I am still covering. I am still correcting. I am still guiding. I am still protecting in ways your natural eyes cannot measure. Do not believe the lie that your worrying through the night is what keeps your child alive, safe, or reachable. Fear is not a faithful guard. Fear paces, but it cannot protect. Fear imagines, but it cannot deliver. Fear listens at doors, but it cannot heal what is hidden behind them. Fear tries to hold what only my hand can hold. But prayer has placed your child beneath my covering, and now rest must become your agreement with trust. As written, I neither slumber nor sleep. I am a better watcher than your anxiety. I am a stronger shield than your racing thoughts. I am nearer to your child than the danger you fear, nearer than the influence you cannot see, nearer than the darkness that tried to whisper in secret. So let peace come over this house now, my beloved child. Let every room be covered. Let every doorway be guarded. Let every bed be surrounded by mercy. Let every child be remembered before me. The one who is close, the one who is distant, the one who speaks freely, the one who hides pain, the one who is strong on the outside and weary within. Let every hidden battle be brought into my light. Let every harmful influence be interrupted. Let every false voice lose its power. Let every trap be exposed before it can close. Let every family line be touched by mercy, and let old patterns tremble under the authority of my name. Declare this before you sleep, my beloved child. Say it slowly, not as one trying to convince heaven, but as one agreeing with what heaven has already spoken. My child belongs to God. My house is covered by prayer. The enemy will not come closer than the Lord allows, and the Lord will make a way of escape. My child is seen. My child is remembered. My child is not abandoned. My child is not beyond mercy. My home is under the covering of the Lord. My fear is under the feet of Jesus. My peace is not denial. My peace is trust. And if this word has reached the place in you that has been quietly afraid, then let your agreement rise, my beloved child. Write the declaration, my child is covered by the Lord. Let it be more than words on a screen. Let it be your altar of surrender tonight. Leave the name, the situation, the burden, or the prayer request for your child or your family member, so others can stand with you in faith. You were not created to carry this alone in silence. There are other parents praying in the night, other hearts asking me to protect what they cannot control, other families waiting for mercy to enter the places fear has touched. Share this message with another parent who has been quietly worried, the one who smiles in the day but cries when the house grows still. Let this prayer reach them before fear becomes heavier. Subscribe so you can continue receiving prayer and prophetic encouragement for the seasons when your heart needs to be strengthened again. And like this video as an act of agreement with the prayer over your home, not for performance, not for attention, but as a simple sign that you are choosing faith over fear tonight. Now lay your head down, my beloved child. Release the door, release the phone, release the unanswered question, release the future you cannot yet understand. I am already there. I am in the room. I am on the road. I am in the hidden place. I am near the child you love. Sleep in peace, my beloved child. The same God who sees you also sees your child.